What is up, everybody? It is your boy Farai. Thank you once again for tuning into another video. We're going to get straight into it. I'm going to be showing you my favorite plugins for really turning a cheap sounding microphone into something very much usable. Let's firstly kind of talk about why a lower end microphone might not sound as good as a high end microphone. To me, it really comes down to how the treble is portrayed when you record into these microphones. A lot of the times they do have quite a kind of brittle high end. That's kind of the main characteristic of a cheaper microphone, but other than that, they're very usable, and if you apply the right techniques, you can really make it sound usable. So let's get straight into it. Definitely make sure to smash that like button. All of the plugin links will be in the description. So first things first, we're going to be using quite a few Analog Obsession plugins. This is an Analog Obsession plugin. Link to that. I've got the SSL, we've got the Helios EQ as well. We're also going to be using the Airwndows BussColor4 for a bit of preamp distortion, and then a nice bonus kind of tape smoothing H3000 sound at the end. But let's get straight into it. So first things first, we have this fetish compressor right here, which is essentially a 1176. For those who don't know what an 1176 is, it is a FET based compressor, leveling amplifier if you will, and really the main kind of the thing that makes it a leveling amplifier is it has an input and then an output drive, and the more we crank the input, the more it compresses. So if you see this meter going to the left, you know it is compressing. Now the beautiful thing about a compressor like this is it's going to really clamp down a vocal and allow you to focus more on the overall sound of the vocal more so than specific frequencies. So that's going to allow us to get rid of some of that nasty treble. So let me play you some of this vocal right here. And you can hear that there definitely is a bit of kind of high-end sizzle that is undesirable. So take a listen to that.
An angel in disguise is what you are to me.
So as you can hear right there, if I really just crank this up,
An angel in disguise is what you are to me.
that we don't really want that as a result of a cheaper microphone. So what I'm going to do real quick is enable this, and then I'm going to turn up the input, and then we'll kind of decide on a ratio we like, and then we'll see what it does to the vocal. So just get it.
An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Save me from myself and I'll be free. The devil's on my shoulder, but he won't win. Try to drag me down, I'm not giving in.
So immediately you can hear that vocal is now kind of, it has more of a mid-focus more so than a trebly kind of thin sound. So that's absolutely amazing. Straight up, as you can see, all I did was turn up the input and then just use the output to kind of level match it. So we're good to go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable the Helios EQ. This is an old school analog console EQ emulation, and it has a bass cut, it has bass boosts right here. So these two bands right here are bass boosts. You can make your selections right here, and then it has a mid-high frequency boost as well as a treble control and a treble cut. So just watch me work. I'm enabling this auto oversample. It probably makes the EQ sound better and the compressor sound better, so you know that's always an added benefit. But what I'm going to do is I'm really going to boost the bass of the vocal, and as you can see, we have the EQ set up before the compressor so that we actually EQ into the compressor, and then you'll see me then carry that over to after the compressor, and you'll see why, but just check it out.
An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Save me from myself and I'll be free. The devil's on my shoulder, but he won't win. Try to drag me down, I'm not giving in.
So as you can see right there, we've overemphasized the bass. It's sounding nice and warm now, but probably a bit too bassy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift it to after the compressor, and now I'm going to boost some of the treble. Now that we've kind of overemphasized the bass, we can really dial in as much treble as we need. See how we've kind of turned it into a scenario where I'm just stuck with this vocal that is too trebly to, hey, I can choose how much treble we want in the vocal, right? That's kind of my method of working here. So I'm going to boost the treble, find a frequency I like, and then see what that sounds like.
An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Save me from myself and I'll be free. The devil's on my shoulder, but he won't win. Try to drag me down, I'm not giving in.
So as you can see right there, wow, it's sounding a lot better. We have not yet dialed in the treble, but I just want you to hear what that sounds like before and after, before we boost the treble.
An angel in disguise is what you are to me.
So as you can hear, it has that kind of high-end sizzle that we don't like once we enable everything.
An angel in disguise is what you are to me.
Much more fun, much more pleasant. So now we're going to dial in a little bit of a treble boost, and then we'll continue down the chain.
An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Save me from myself and I'll be free. The devil's on my shoulder, but he won't win. Try to drag me down, I'm not giving in.
So that's very much fun. That's sounding way more analog to me. So after that, what you can then go ahead and do is use an SSL style EQ. Let's just kind of return this to normal. You can use an SSL style EQ to really kind of critically fix some parts of the vocal if you don't like. That's the nice thing about an SSL EQ. It is parametric. It is the same as something like this. Really allows you to dial in. I'm going to leave that for you to do. But what I'm going to be focusing on is this BussColor4. Now the BussColor4 plugin is essentially a console preamp drive. It has many different colors, which are essentially different distortion types, and each one will have a different sound. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking this, what we have, and then I'm going to be cranking the input. So as the vocal hits this plugin, we're going to be distorting it as much as we'd like. So the more we turn it up, the more we distort it. And then I'm going to be turning down the output so that we can kind of level match things. And then we'll choose a distortion color we like. And you're going to see what this is going to do to the vocal. It's going to turn it into something completely different. So let's try that out.
An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Save me from myself and I'll be free. The devil's on my shoulder, but he won't win. Try to drag me down, I'm not giving in. An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Save me from myself and I'll be free.
See how we kind of have this cool rock tone going. Now obviously if you're mixing pop music, etc, you might not want to distort things this much, but you get the ideas. We're essentially reshaping, retoning the vocal, and obviously within the context of the mix we would obviously be lessening the amount of bass. I think maybe I've got a bit too much bass, but you get the idea of what I'm doing. I really like this lush. I'm just going to kind of fly through all of them so you can hear what all of the flavors do.
An angel in disguise is what you are to me. An angel in disguise is what you are to me.
That tube is also not bad at all. I'm just going to turn down the input.
An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Save me from myself and I'll be free. The devil's on my shoulder, but he won't win. Try to drag me down, I'm not giving in. An angel in disguise is what you are to me.
So there you go, lots of fun. So you can obviously pick how much of this kind of effect you want going, but essentially what we've done is we've compressed the vocal, added in some bass, added in some treble, and then added in a bit of distortion. Now you could also move this plugin around. So for example, if you wanted it before everything else.
An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Save me from myself and I'll be free.
That could sound really nice on a kind of more aggressive sounding R&B record with a little bit of kind of Bryson Tiller distortion or something. Okay, now it is time to really get going with the tape effect. So as you can see right here, I've got two plugins set up, and I've already set up the presets because I really want to show you what I've kind of done too. This is generally going to be the same if I am trying to really get the best out of a microphone. Essentially what you want to be doing is you want to get a chorus plugin. This is the kilohertz chorus, and you essentially want to pull in a little bit of this chorus effect. It mustn't be overemphasized so that you can kind of tell it's a chorus effect, but essentially what we want to do is kind of round off the vocal, especially in the treble and the low end. So a chorus plugin is going to be amazing for doing that. And then after that, we're going to be using this PitchProof plugin, which is a really cool plugin, but it does use quite a bit of CPU, so just keep that in mind. But what we want to be doing is essentially not using the pitch function. You could use this to get a kind of chipmunk voice, whatever. We're not going to be using that, so keep that on 0. But what we're going to be doing is detuning the vocal just a little bit. If you know the key of the song even better. But we detune it a little bit, and that's going to really help us get this kind of nice mature sound. So I'm going to enable the first one. Okay.
An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Save me from myself and I'll be free. The devil's on my shoulder, but he won't win.
Can you see how we kind of coating that treble? You know, it's kind of the whole vocal is kind of sagging inwards in a really nice way. And once we add in this PitchProof, you can definitely hear the difference of detuning the vocal. I'm going to turn up the dry to wet ratio so you can really hear what it's doing.
An angel in disguise is what you are to me. Save me from myself and I'll be free.
So it's kind of doing this cool eventide harmonizing thing. So I'm just going to turn it down.
An angel in disguise is what you are to me.
And there you go. That's really nice. It's sounding
Save me from myself and I'll be free. The devil's on my shoulder, but he won't win. Try to drag me down, I'm not giving in. An angel in disguise is what you are to me.
Really cool. And then obviously you could do your level matching to make it sound like it did beforehand. But you know, doing this and obviously messing around with the format, you could obviously have the preamp after everything else, etc, etc. Messing around with this same format is really going to help you smooth out a cheaper sounding microphone. So just to kind of recap what we've done, we could use the BussColor4, which is essentially a preamp console emulator. We can drive the input, turn down the output, and then choose a flavor we like. There are many to choose from. From there on out, we are going to use an 1176 leveling amplifier to crank up some input, get some compression going to really clamp the vocal down, but not to make it sound squeezed. We're going to pick a ratio we like. Each ratio will have a different type of sound. That's especially apparent in the 1176. You could obviously use the slam function, which is essentially all buttons in. We could then go to a Helios EQ or a Pultec style EQ, anything that has kind of a broad kind of sound to it. Boost the bass a little bit so we emphasize that to kind of de-emphasize the treble, and then obviously detail the treble as needed. Then we want to go and either do a little bit of critical EQ, but most importantly add a tape kind of harmonizer sound. And overall that's gonna really help you to blend your vocals into beats, music, backtracks, whatever you are singing or rapping over, and hopefully you will have a more expensive sound. This is obviously turned into a kind of punk sound, but you could really lessen the amount of chorus, for example, to get a more kind of honed in and more kind of expensive sound per se. But yeah, man, hopefully you learned something. Definitely try these methods out. Links in the description. If you are into recording in FL Studio, definitely check my recording course and that kind of thing. Other than that, smash like, have a good day. I'll check you out. Peace out.